Welcome to episode 448 of Fourth and Jawn. I'm Gail Saunders here with Evan Hollywood Hearn, Mr. Tim Kincaid in the building. Today's show, we're talking about self-scouting the birds. Obviously, we have to look internally after such a bye week. You know, it was. I'm going to be honest. The bye week was really nice. We talked about briefly about our trip to Tampa and what a terrible trip it was due to Hurricane Helene. And now they're dealing with another hurricane. So shout out to all you people down there. Hopefully you're all safe down there. But just in terms of just the bye week and being able to self-scout and sit back and just actually watch other football, actually watch other offenses score on the first drive of their series. That's kind of cool. But the bye week is kind of like you gotta self scout your team. I know we do this every day because my phone says so from all the texts that I receive from you Eagle fans. In the conversation that you have with your family members, shout out to my bro. We talk about this daily. But Ev, not only did we have a little break, but you had a birthday. An older than Dallas Goedert birthday.
Yeah.
How you been? You've had a little break. I didn't get to hear your takes on your birthday or the Bucks, but how you been?
Yeah. Well, starting off with the Bucks, that was rough. I'm not gonna lie. You guys going down there, I know, and it was totally different weather up here. I couldn't believe how many guys were like kind of dropping like flies in that game as far as just dehydration and just overall not well prepared enough for the game from a hydration standpoint. You guys must have been dying up in the stands, no doubt. But that was a tough game, man. And but thankfully went into the bye week, like you said. Had my 30th birthday, went down to Mexico and celebrated. Got out honestly just in time with Hurricane Milton coming through. That's right over top of where I just was right now. Had no idea that was even going on the entire time we were down there. And then we come home and look at the news and they're like, oh yeah, by the way, there's a hurricane about to hit there. That's pretty crazy. But the resort was amazing. The birthday was amazing. But I'm happy to be back in the States, man. Every time I leave the country, I come back and I'm like, I missed just having burgers and regular fucking American food.
You can get burgers in Cancun.
Yeah, they're good, but they're not American burgers, bro. It's just not the same.
Hateration, man.
It was the food was great though. All the Mexican food was amazing. But looking forward to this week. I'm excited for the Eagles to get back out there and hopefully turn it around. You mentioned, getting to sit back and watch other teams and how they operate in the bye week. And, I was on a flight for a lot of Sunday, so I didn't get to watch as much of the bye week, but I did catch, highlights of a bunch of games. And what I saw is just teams that play to their strengths. I look at teams that should not be 5-0, like the Minnesota Vikings. And what are they doing out there? They're out there with Sam Darnold, who has had more opportunities than anybody in this league, and now is finally getting it done. And what is the coaching doing? They are playing to their players' strengths. We have stars on this team. There's no reason. I know there's going to be people out there that are going to say, okay, well, Justin Jefferson, we have A.J. Brown. We have Saquon Barkley. We have stars on this team. It's capable of getting it done. What we've been doing is just trying to outsmart the other team. You have to just play to your players' strengths, and we have not been doing that up until this point. So I think a lot of where the problems lie in our team right now lies with coaching. You see the Jets today making a bold move, firing a coach midway through the season. I'll tell you what, we go down to Cleveland against a trash Cleveland Browns team. I don't think anybody's job is safe, man.
Hopefully, you said the word safe. Hopefully, Tim, you're safe down there with all the heat.
Yeah. You know what? I gotta get this off my chest. Yo, son, you ain't always gotta keep it on it. You know what I'm saying? I need the sun to chill out. Like, it's October.
Like, you guys still on that 100 level?
Bro, it's
100
like
degree stretch?
Son, come on, son. Help a brother out, son. But nah, man. This past weekend, I will say this: we lost this weekend, and I know we didn't have a game. but I need to point this out. Every NFC team won. So, Cowboys beat the Steelers. Yeah, Giants magically. I don't even know what happened to Seattle. Washington beat the brakes off the Cardinals a week before, and
Jaden
then
Daniels real, bro.
It's a little worrisome. It's a little worrisome because it seems like everybody else in the NFC East is coaching. They have problems, but they're able to fix the bad will. And they're playing Cowboys. They playing without Michael Parsons. Giants are missing some of their players. Eagles, Nick Sirianni. It's time. It's time to pull the rabbit out the hat. You've done this before. We've seen you fix things. We've seen you fix things. You know, you had the speech about what the flowers grow. The next day, we beat the piss out of the Detroit Lions. We lost to the Commanders because of Quez Watkins fumbling the ball, and then automatically going on a 9-game winning streak. I've seen Nick Sirianni and his coaching staff. Not this particular coaching staff, but the coaching staff for the Philadelphia Eagles and the organization do this before. So what I need to see is some fire lit underneath the ass. I need to see, hey, we are ready to play. We're ready to ball. That's where I'm at.
You're not fired up about Mr. Softy. Shout out to Mr. Softy.
I didn't even realize that was playing in the back. My mic was picking that up.
Providing ice cream for.
Oh man, my daughter heard that. She would, man. Can we go back home, Dad?
Ice cream.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think we all need some ice cream after the last 4 weeks. You know, obviously it's been a little bit up and down, and we have to be realistic in the point of pointing out the fact that AJ Brown has missed a lot of games, and in a very short part of the season already. That's just factual. I mean, you go throughout the NFC or the AFC, you take out their number one wide receiver on the team, it's going to make a difference. Not only did we lose AJ Brown, we also lost Devontae Smith for a game and a half, but those are just the facts. We know our record without Lane Johnson is not great. So the positive here is we're getting those guys back. Okay, so that we'll get that out of the way. We're getting those guys back. So, not that I'm going back to the negative, but I would like our discussion to go directly towards a guy in the comments. Shout out to all the people in the comments that are in the live show. They're already mentioning about Sirianni, and I was reading a article from Jimmy Kempski. And it's really just talking about Nick Sirianni, and it's really just, I mean, it's a very simple question about his CEO coaching ability. I mean, has Nick Sirianni lived up to those responsibilities? And it's a very easy question for a lot of you, but when it comes down to like what his responsibilities are as a CEO coach. But some of his core values, and you start thinking about the Eagles football team, the ability to connect. I don't know how connected him and Hurts are at this moment. I mean, it just seems a little off. One of your potential starting linebackers is mysteriously gone.
He's been healthy scratched every game.
He's putting out cryptic messages. Compete. What we saw in Bucks playing against the Bucks, I'm not sure if it was they didn't compete in the first quarter or the first half. Really, the accountability. I think the guys are still holding themselves accountable. Players, Brandon Graham. I know they're holding themselves accountable, but I think they. I guess so. Some of the social media stuff, it's been a little off. Smart football, obviously. Playing to our strengths, like alluding what to Ev said earlier, playing to our strengths. I don't think so. The in-game management from Sirianni, way off. I think we should be 3-1 right now.
Yeah,
I'd say we should be 3-1. Fundamentals. We've seen a lot of missed tackles. We've seen a lot of players playing out of position. Again, I do understand that it is a new defense. Players are learning on the fly. In the offseason, talked about the communication is going to be very important for this defense. If you don't know the language, you know, passing off wide receivers into the other zones, it could get tricky if the communication is off.
Yeah.
So just going through those core values, guys. I mean, what do you guys think?
I mean, I think you pretty much laid it all out there. He has that connection issue with Jalen Hurts. That's been something that has been talked about over and over again. Can you get that back up so I can look at it? He has, the competition thing. You could see it out there in each one of these weeks. We talk about how we should be this, we should be that. We're not, because we're not competing hard enough. These guys are simply, rolling over and dying at some points of these games. And I think a lot of it, I think the fact that so many players went down to dehydration and just sickness from the heat. I mean, those types of things can happen, but in the volume that it happened in that game, that was poor preparation by the coach. And everything to me leads back to the coach. It's Sirianni should have done this better. Sirianni should have done that better. The accountability aspect. I mean, there's players on this team you alluded to. I mean, I think Brandon Graham is definitely a captain and a leader of the locker room, but it's going to take more than one guy. When you got guys out here that, are on social media, not taking accountability, that hurts. And as far as, just playing smart football and the fundamentals, I would even put the field goal thing and not going for field goals in the fundamental and smart football column. Because, I mean, if you it is a 3-0 ball game, why are you not kicking a field goal? It's the first half. That's fundamental and that's smarts to me. So all of these things that I'm saying, it all leads back to Sirianni, man. And at the end of the season, I was left here saying, what does this guy do? And now it's the beginning of the season, and it's more of the same of last year. And so all I get that the idea of cutting a head coach this early on is punting on the season. But I don't see us being able to win a Super Bowl with Sirianni at this current state.
Damn, Evan left his hot take early in the show. Just put it out there. Put it out there, Tim. What say you, man?
There was something that you said last episode that we were talking, and you talked about the core values of a team. And when you go and you walk in NovaCare, I haven't been to NovaCare. I've been to NovaCare watch practices, but I've never been in a luxurious position to be like Gail Saunders to go inside the NovaCare Center. And once you walk in the NovaCare Center, I've seen a lot of pictures. There's Kobe Bryant sayings and statements and GOAT statements from other people, and I don't think those players are walking in those hallways. They're closing their eyes, because everything that was on those walls should be playing with passion, playing with emotion, playing for something, playing for each other, and we're not getting that. The coaching is lazy coaching. This is the laziest coaching I've ever seen in my life. Mm-hmm. Vic Fangio doesn't understand if he needs to either adjust to quick throws, off coverage, on ball coverage, get up in the wide receivers, put your hands on them, disrupt the routes. Nothing. It was just like, I don't need to adjust. They need to adjust to me. That old school mentality is going to get your butt fired. So he needs to get it together on the defense. On the offensive side, we all know this is Nick's offense. I don't know why everybody's like, oh no, it's Nick's offense. Mm-hmm. Stop playing. Look at the stats. The stats say itself. Look, pre-snap motion, that's all killing. That's all killing.
Yep.
Yeah, first quarter. 15 to 50, what? So your first 15 to 12 plays are scripted. Empty back formations. It's absolutely hilarious to see that when they do that, and the routes. You know the routes. You know what's going to come.
It's the same thing
It's the same
plays.
damn thing. And then on top of that, when it comes to third and like 11, third and 9, we're going to keep on playing these long ass combination routes where Jalen is holding on to the ball about 4 to 5 seconds. You don't have that type of time in NFL, man. This is not college football. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's just like, come on, man. Come on. So, I said it. Primo said it. I think Gail even said it. It's time for Nick to let go of that play calling. It's time.
And I, as I'm sitting there watching the Monday night game last night, Andy Reid, former Eagles coach, and I'm not at all, the time was up. I don't want to even that argument to build up. What I'm trying to say is that the creativity that Andy Reid has and the way that he is able to implement these little shovel passes and these creative plays, why is he's not the only person that is capable of coming up with these types of plays. He's the person that has the balls enough to implement them in a game plan. And so why are we running the same plays over and over and over again? I know that you guys got some tricks up your sleeve. Pull them out. Like, if there's ever been a time to pull out something creative, now is the time.
Ev, I got one for you, Ev.
What?
How about we run a screen to Saquon Barkley?
Yeah.
An effective screen. I was just even watching that, just one play, and I'm just alluding to like your thought process of like, why can't we do it? It was a play with the Xavier Worthy, who was their speed demon, where he came in motion, and it was like you could have ran it, but it was like a little play action and dump off past the flat. And I was like, that is so simple, but yet
you're utilizing
so
your player's
effective.
strengths. Yeah, exactly.
And just talking about the motion, I was watching a video with Luke Kuechly, and he was talking about, for weeks. If you listen, I've been saying this. I start sounding like a broken record, but the dressing on the offense, we go out there with the most unseasoned offense ever. Like, if Evan showed up to a tailgate with unseasoned steak, I would set him aside, like, Ev,
what's going on, man?
More. Your seasoning is off. Like, I expect a certain taste, just like we do with our offense. We've seen it before. We have seen a Super Bowl roster and what that looks like. And I think of what it does it for Eagle fans. We've seen one that got to the Super Bowl. We also seen one that won it. So the expectations are always high. But going back to Tim, you had alluded to the things that are hanging up in the Eagles locker room. This is at the Novacare, says Kobe 10 rules. Get better every single day, which is something you hear Sirianni speak of. Prove them wrong. Number 2. 3, work on your weaknesses. 4, execute what you practiced. 5, learn from greatness. 6, learn from wins and losses. We hear that in a lot of messaging from Jalen, correct? Number 7, practice mindfulness. Number 8, be ambitious. Number 9, believe in your team. And 10, learn storytelling.
And you know what the difference is? Is that Kobe Bryant embodied all of those things. It's easy to read off that list and say it, but to actually embody it and follow through with all 10 of those Kobe commandments, that's the shit that'll get you in the Hall of Fame. You need to. That's what you need to do.
And I keep the storytelling for the podcasters.
Kobe would have been a great podcaster, bro.
Oh man, believe it. I listen to a lot of Kobe interviews, just on the regular, for inspiration. It's his life to a lot of people after death has been even more so to a lot of people, and I think that the fact that they have those quotes on the wall means something. Now I think we hit on Nick Sirianni. I think it's rightfully so that we move the target on Jalen Hurts. Now I went back and watched some of his film, and just again, we support Jalen Hurts. We're out there.
Thank you for saying that.
I'm just saying, like, obviously
no.
we support our quarterback, we support the organization, the messaging, whatever, anything the Eagles are trying to do, we're trying to support it. So
Exactly.
the fact that we go back and again, we're also realists in the fact that we actually go back and watch the film, we study, we go out and scout players, and we're self scouting. This is what this whole episode is about. And when it comes to Jalen Hurts, we know, we already mentioned it, missing one of his number one receivers in AJ Brown. But when it comes to just QB fundamentals, trusting the pocket, we know trust the process in Philadelphia. It's a basketball term, but trusting the pocket. You know what I got to speak to, Brian Baldwin, and where he gave me the information where his own Eagle players are saying that Jalen is leaving the pocket too early.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't coming from, you don't have to take my word for it from film study, or you could just take one of his own players. So we know that he has to stay in the pocket at certain times.
I was just going to say, in the vein of giving Jalen the benefit of the doubt, do you think that him scrambling out of the pocket too early could be due to the fact that Lane Johnson's been missing for the past couple weeks?
But I think
week and a half.
When we're talking about like elevating your game as a quarterback, we know it's from good to great. So the great ones learn how to manipulate the pocket. So like at some certain point in times, you're going to have to. You got to let a play develop. Like if even reading his read one, and I feel like the league, I already feel like the league's already there. They already know that Jalen likes to go to that first read. They're playing his eyes more so than his eyes and his tendencies. I feel like they're there with that in the way that he's being. This is from a conversation from Baldy where I'm just sitting there like eating it up because he's.
No, but that's a fact, though. I mean, because we sit back and we watch, and in hindsight, obviously, you're able to point out wide receivers that are open, and you could see guys that are open. But if you're staring down the right side of the field, and Jahan Dotson is wide open with no one around him for 10 yards on the left side of the field, I mean, that you're exactly right. That these defenders have picked up on that tendency, and they're seeing that, and they're just all populating wherever Jalen's eyes are because they know he's not going to get across the field.
So you say something clear, like you got to have. Do you think it's just Jalen's not scanning the field well,
100%,
and he's just scanning his comfortable side, which is the right side?
Dude, you know what's some bullshit? It's remember the Carson Wentz conversation about he has a quarter of the field he likes to look at each play.
Yeah.
You break the field down into quarters, and that's what it. Dude, what's up with the deja vu?
But I do think he can get there. I do like quick strike. Like there's an interview with Kelsey and Hurts talking about rhythm, allowing this offense to get to its rhythm. It's going to take time. It is going to take its time, but we have not seen this offense get into rhythm. And again, without AJ Brown in the offense, we have not seen its full capacity in 4 games. 1 game, yes, but having AJ Brown should fix the rhythm. But again, it's a weird scene when you haven't seen this offense again.
Wow.
We're the only team in the league.
Whoa,
it's true.
What? Yeah. Yep. They released him. So the Eagles have released former Pro Bowler linebacker Devin White. For guys.
He didn't play 1 snap, bro. That's crazy.
Yo, and this is bananas. Like from a culture standpoint. Speak to me. Say something.
I'm blown away at this point. I'm currently looking for the list of the top 25. I know he was definitely in our top 25 of most important. Bob, yes, it is a real story. It was tweeted by the Eagles. They did just
Ian Rappaport.
Eagles tweeted it as well, I believe.
All right,
but It's pretty crazy the fact that there had to have been something in my mind. There had to have been something internally where him and Vic Fangio must have just been button heads, bro.
But this is go.
We have such limited depth at linebacker, and we got Devin White.
It's on NFL Live right now.
Because I'm just at a loss for words in terms of him talking about in the beginning of the offseason, like pouring into his cup and everybody's leader, like what was being said to him behind the scenes. Did he get so in his fields that he wasn't starting? But he was on his way to starting, and then all of a sudden it was like a quick switch. Dean starting. Did he
ready for this?
What?
Ready for this? There's a prime example. Of what we went through last year. And what I mean by that is the front office and the coaching staff are here and here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Players here. This is a prime example.
Nobody's on
just got a text message from the homie. This got a text message from the homie. I'll tell you after the show.
What can you elaborate?
No, I can't share. I can't share it. I can't share that. I can't share that.
Can you come close to
what I just said?
Nobody's aligned.
Nobody's aligned.
You can see that.
Oh my God!
This.
Yeah. I'll man.
There's a total disconnect.
If you guys can give me like a couple of weeks, I got you. But right now, I can't share it. But yeah.
Oh, good God. Because if you follow our socials this morning, I posted out a tweet that he had was very cryptic, and he basically, it seemed weird, so I posted it. His tweet yesterday, October 7th, which is Monday, he said, "Your story," this is all the things that he has highlighted. "Your story is still being written, and the best chapters are yet to come. Have faith in your journey and trust that everything is happening for your highest good. Stay hopeful and optimistic. Believe that the future holds boundless possibilities, and you have the power to shape it into something," highlighted, "truly extraordinary." So that could be some motivational
Natasha
stuff.
Bedingfield. The rest is still unwritten.
So if you look in the comments, if you look in the comments, his aunt chimes in the comments. "Here's to new beginnings. Stay blessed." And Devin White responds to that tweet, and he says, "It's death on the way, Auntie. God has always been in my corner." So I guess the football gods have intervened, and they have helped Devin White get released.
This is what a bizarre stay at. But like if we look at it, his ending to his Buccaneers career was weird as well to me. I mean, he kind of tailed off a little bit as far as his play, and then I feel like was given up pretty quickly on for how good of a player he was for them. And then, he just had this little drop off, and they just ended up getting rid of him. And you had heard it from Bucs fans when he came here that like, oh, whatever, like you guys aren't getting anything special. And he comes here and ends up losing the job to a guy that has struggled his first few years as a pro and another free agent. So
now I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think he lost his job due to was it a off the field thing, or do you think it was on the field thing?
I don't know, man, because I think that depending on how bad the off the field thing is, like I think that players get a little bit of leeway.
It's a bad. This also goes to Howie. This is a bad look. This is another player who is not. He literally has not shown up.
Yeah,
and then it goes to a Bryce Huff, who is here, but literally
Yeah.
hasn't shown up. So some of your off the field acquisitions have been a two pack of
Back of ass, bro.
All right,
ass.
so what Mike Garofolo was basically saying was Devin White was a 1-year deal with the Eagles, would have paid him $3.5 million, but obviously wasn't good fit. And with White being inactive for the first 4 games, a split at the point was concerned best for both sides. So basically, what happened? He just wasn't happy with
Not playing.
and not playing, and that's when it got to. I mean, we kind of knew the writing was on the wall when Devontae David had the sack and
he was like retweeting.
and he tweeted like during the game, and you're tweeting against your own team. That rubbed some people the wrong way. So I'm gonna definitely tell you that
It's maturity thing at that point.
Yeah, right. So that was one, right, and then 2 was, like I said, front office here.
Yep.
Coaches here, players here.
Then
on top of that, there was another one that I think everybody missed. I don't think anybody's seen it. Kevin Byard chimed in as well.
What
Did
he
you see
said?
that?
No, I didn't see it.
Basically said something like, well, you know how it is. You know how it is there. You know how it is there.
And
as we go back to this as well, we talked about this prior to knowing the release of Devin White, but we talk about all these players that leave, have things to say, lack of connection. It's all leading back. All roads lead back to one place.
I'm afraid the ghost of past is the present.
You're tweeting like a wide receiver over there, bro. It's very cryptic. You're tweeting like a wide receiver over there. It's very cryptic.
I'm afraid, and I think what y'all know what I'm talking about. I think we're all here, right? Like what I'm saying. The ghost of the past is here for the present. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right?
Not really.
Come on, guys.
God, man. We were this was a whole this is a whole like self-scout episode, and it's been taken off the rails by Devin White. So just wow. This is news that is occurring in real time. But it is a very I'm going to say it's very concerning because we're starting to see reoccurring things.
Yeah.
Like if the culture was right, he would want to stay. I'm not going to say it's fully on the culture of, but like if the football culture was like, stay, compete, let's work things out. How the hell you not figure this out? And I know players can get in their heads and be whatever, but like it's kind of crazy when he never even sees the field.
Yeah,
never sees the field. People are in the comments are very 843 Drum Legend says this is crazy. They can't be serious right now. And again, we've heard things from last year from other free agents that the Eagles picked up, and have made mention to things of the culture behind the scenes. I would like to think it has changed, just being optimistic, but it's a weird scene, man. It's a weird scene.
You also look at just how he's, just track record. Your own brother talked about how he needs help picking defensive players, and you look at Howie's track record of, outside of the top 10, where you can't really miss, trying to fill a lot of positions with these players that have performed in the past and maybe are on the latter half of their career rather than trying to develop young talent and find and scout young talent in the draft. I mean, you look at some of the defenses out there, like the Kansas City Chiefs, one of the best defenses in the league. No one saw coming. I mean, yeah, they've got a healthy mix of young good players and aged veterans. I mean, it's kind of just a mixed bag for us at this point, man. And we got a lot of guys that are just coming in here who were names once upon a time. And I don't know. It's Howie Roseman. I think your brother's right in the fact that he on the defensive side of picking up players, he definitely has had way more swings and misses.
Now, shout out to Mr. Cross for giving us the information. This is via Tim McManus. My understanding is the Eagles and Devin White made a deal. Team would release him now instead of after the trade deadline when he was subjected to waivers. And White agreed to terms that could provide the Eagles possible financial relief. So that makes more sense. If the Eagles are getting financial relief, then they're going to let him pick his team and let him go where he wants to go.
That's got what's it called?
But we get our money back.
That's got Cowboys pickup written all over it, and then they get the inside tell of what's been going on.
I think they're really happy with Overshown and Kendricks. I would.
Good God.
I could definitely see him going to like the Giants or something like that.
HB talking about that he has zero confidence that we beat the Browns next week. I mean, man, the Browns are a bad team. If we don't beat the Browns, bro. Deshaun Watson, you want to talk about a two-pack of ass. You want to talk about an organization that needs to be completely leveled from the top up to the bottom. Cleveland Browns, man, Jesus, better win that game.
What would you say? What would you say if we beat the Browns, but we barely beat the Browns? So what would you say then? Because Dallas hung like 40 on them.
I feel like we do. I feel like this is the way that this team comes out.
Yeah,
will show everything what this football team is made of. Like, are you gonna kill the noise? Are you gonna kill the noise or not?
That's what I was about to say.
My thing is, you got everybody locked and loaded except for Devin White.
I mean, I want to see. I want to see a more cold-blooded approach from the Eagles, man. I feel like in the few times I know that this year has been a different because we haven't scored in the first quarter, but to be able to get whenever we feel like get a lead on a team, and it starts to feel comfortable, we don't keep our foot on the pedal. And we end up just letting, like, every Eagles fan that has been a fan of this team for years can relate to the feeling of when we are up by 10 and it's, the start of the fourth quarter and you're still sitting there like,
oh, the Arizona Cardinals game?
I don't know, man. Like, yeah, and pick them, bro. Pick any game. I mean, it's a common thing where we end up just coughing up games and we end up letting teams back into them. So I need a different mentality. Where it's a more cold-blooded stomp on their necks.
I would say this is everything. I think if we can get back to being a run-first team and taking control of the clock and then letting the passing game open up, I think we'll be back on that. But that's if Nick wants to get back to being a run-first team. But if you're going to keep on coming out here and empty formations, like, come on, man! Like, this should tell you right now that our rookie has played 2 games and he already has 2 concussions. You know why? Because he keep on blocking to his damn side.
Man, you got to first of all, you got to diversify your offense, and I think
right,
obviously play to your strengths. We're getting our strengths back on the outside. Like, as much as we got to keep on repeating it, it's coming. It should look different. I'm just saying one player shouldn't make the biggest difference in scheming.
Right.
Like,
unless you Saquon Barkley.
You got to scheme around it. Like, if you have a weakness without having a star play in AJ Brown, like scheme around it. Like in what we saw some great play out of Dallas Goedert in the last couple of weeks. Not last, but the week before. We saw great performances out of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah. Until he got hurt.
But that's our strength, though, and we're built for in the trenches. So our strength should be running the ball. Last against the Bucks, he had 10 carries for 84 yards, and we stopped running with him.
Makes no sense, man.
It makes us. We are a run first team. I don't understand why it's so
first league
hard. It doesn't. You don't have to copy off everybody though. That's the issue with him. Stop trying to copy off and be you.
No, I was watching.
This is the same thing. This is the same thing we went with the Detroit Lions, right? We got our ass kicked, and I was at the game, the Raiders game. We got our ass kicked, right? Everybody was poo-pooing, and he came out with the flowers, putting water in the pot, and then leaf came out, right? I don't know what happened. I don't know. And then what did we do? We had that battery ran back. We had the Jordan. It was a Jordan, the running back, Jordan Howard. With Jordan Howard beat the Lions by 50 points or something. We put 50 on them. Just running the ball, and then we went on like a six game winning streak. Run the ball, and let it open up.
I was watching film of the Falcons game, and the way that our offensive line was dominating, and the way that we went away from that when the game really mattered. Just run the ball with Saquon. Don't just. It's just normal. Just like it was a Baldinger breakdown where he was like, "Why would you outthink yourself in terms of like?" And then some people were like, well, the box and the numbers. I'm like, everyone knows we're doing the tush push. Still get one.
Yeah.
Everyone knows we're doing the box. Don't matter.
How did you feel when we did the tush push and then Saquon? How did you feel with that?
Oh, we did that was the most like you. I was like, you soft ass MFer. I said because now you're like. I'm scared to run the tush push with
right
in the regular form of what it is. And now you're getting cute with Saquon when he's one of the biggest, strongest backs in the league and most elusive backs. He's got the full combination of what you want in a running back, and you're getting cute with him. Just line it up, bro. Line it up. This is football. This is wee.
Kelly was bringing up wanting to see more Jack Stoll. I want to see more. I mean, just bringing up the tight ends. And you look at how our offense is built. And granted, AJ Brown's been missing the past few weeks, but something I'd like to see more of is just two tight end sets, man. I mean, you talk about playing to your strengths. You have two tight ends out there and Saquon in the backfield. It could be lined up as a run. Then you have your best, your top two wide receivers. I mean, there's no doubt it's AJ and Devontae. So why are you gonna sit around and get cute? And if Dotson's not working, I'd rather just see more two tight end sets personally.
I just don't promise. I just don't see them utilizing them the way that if Sirianni's in there messing with meddling. And my thing was with the play action, like, can we just like when you run the football, you can then run play action effectively.
Correct. They're not playing football to their strength though. They're just not. Like, and we all see it because it's like this offense is being placed in a chokehold of Nick Sirianni. Just like, hey, just line up, guys. Let's go.
You want to see this ticker I just found from the offseason?
Yeah.
What's going on?
Eagles' newest additions ranked. There goes White. There goes Huff. Man, disappointing, bro. Disappointing.
Bob makes a good point about Becton and Fred. Like, what? I tackle eligible with one of these guys, knowing I don't care. We're running it. P. Wobben says, agree. They are trying to be a team that they are not. Yeah, I know Kelsey was saying how he hated the RPOs.
Yeah.
Well,
They're
you know what? I do like the RPO, but I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like when you run the RPO with Jalen is not giving that ball up. So half the damn time we got too many men down the damn field. How many men down the field penalties do we have already?
Well,
it is nuts, bro.
Kelsey was talking about the way that they're blocking, though. Like
they think that it's a run, right?
The way that they're blocking is not effective.
Yeah.
Now, Adam asked Gale, any word on Jawn starting in slot yet? Wonder if Sidney Brown plays next week. Practice window is open. I think we've seen from Tate, other known as Avonte Maddox. The league is singling him out every week in, week out. It started for week 1. Started with Christian Watson. You can go this week with another Chris and Godwin. And it doesn't matter what Chris is lined up against across Avonte Maddox. They are going to go after Avonte Maddox and single him out. So I think if Jawn is where they want him to be at this moment, I mean, he's going to have to learn on the fly. Like he is learning on the fly.
I mean, we don't really have much of a choice. I think you need to kind of just thrust him in that position because Max is cooked, bro. I mean, he's only good at the safety position at this point in his career.
Who?
And he's good for the locker.
I think he's serviceable.
What?
No, I'm just saying he's serviceable.
Yeah,
but I think when you get a bad matchup on him up against when it's it's not like a speedy and it's a sizable matchup, it's a problem. I mean, you even saw, even in that preseason game where they sized him up with a tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up getting a pick. But I'm saying, again, it's nothing that we haven't seen.
Right.
True.
We've been saying it for years. So now, it's just a matter of, good God, I am this Devin White news just has me annoyed is all get out. I'm trying to not swear.
Yeah.
If I will
unleash.
CJ's out here saying he believes that the Jawn is going to be getting singled out even more than Avonte.
He will get singled out until he learns that he can. He will get singled out until he learns that he shows that he can stop it.
Yeah.
Just
they're going to try him, just like any corner that comes in. Yeah.
Yeah. They tried out
Ringo.
Gel's son. They tried out Gel's son, and he's passing tests.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love his shit talking. Is
against Mike Evans, who I told you in the preview that he was going to get his. Mike Evans was going to get it, and that was funny too. Mike Evans said, do you know who I am?
He was like, he got one verse on him. He said something. He's like, "What, cuz? What's up, cuz?" I love it, bro. I love Quinyon, and then, again, he's gonna catch his lumps, but he's gonna show up.
Yeah,
he's gonna show up.
Hey, I'll tell you this: he's playing inspiring football.
Yeah,
he's the only one I'm looking at, and I'm like, okay, well,
good God,
Ricky is doing it. What about y'all? I mean, I hate to even do this. Slay, your little brother is out playing you, man. What's up,
bro? We're gonna get back to obviously we had a little theme to the show, but thanks to Devin White and the Eagles, they kind of threw a wrench in our with our show here, but it's all good. It's all right.
Shout out to Chairman
because we wanted to give a shout out, and we're doing the show early because of the Phillies. So we wanted to cater it to the Phillies a little bit, and just oh God, just kind of I can't even get it out right. Can't even get it out right, man.
You got the Phil's gear on though, Tim. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So I mean, you watched any of the Phil's last couple games? They had to bench Alec Baum. So who on the Eagles right now needs to be benched?
Man, he wears number 0, and he's done absolutely 0. Bryce Huff It's bold. It's bold picking a number like that when you ain't gonna do nothing, bro. Because you got your stat on your jersey right now. Bryce Huff, it's been absolutely abysmal. Hasn't shown me anything yet, and he needs to. I mean, you want to talk about guys like Devin White who just got healthy scratched every game so far this season. There had to have been something that happened behind the scenes because there's no way that Bryce Huff is competing in practice. I think the only reason he's out there is because of the paycheck that he's getting. So bench him.
I got another one for you. Ready?
Yep.
Nolan Smith. Step on up to the batter. Step on the batter in the batter box, please, sir. You have been absolutely trash. First round pick. What is going on? I love to hear your talk. Shout out to Chris Long. You did the podcast. When you talk, I listen. But damn, when you get on the field, it's like you only got one move. And you got all these vets around you from last year and this year. And it's like you don't know how to do a move at all. It's just like it's to the and on top of that, and even the special teams, he got benched in special teams. I don't know if you've seen that. He got benched in special teams. Nolan, come on, bro. Like I was rooting for you. When you got picked with that first round, the second pick in the first round for the Eagles, I was happy. Bro, can you do something? Can I see something? I'm not seeing anything from you, bro.
All right, so I'm gonna bench him. I'm gonna say obviously we talked about Avonte Maddox. I think it's time to bench Avonte. Just in terms of like it's the youth movement now. Let's get the young guys in. And you know, HB had made a point about Hunt. If Hunt can give you something, let him go.
Mm-hmm.
Booker gave you something, right? Booker gave you something. He's gonna get in playing time. Let the best man win. I don't care where you're drafted at this point. If you're offended, Howie, about your guys sucking that you picked, so
let the big dog hunt.
I mean, BG is out here playing the best, you know, and he's 36-year-old in the tie ball class.
Yo, thank God BG decided he wanted to come back for another year, bro.
This is the golden year for BG. He can't be like getting a sack
He's
off
like fine wine, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like, so shout out to BG though. Like, BG, you're the man. And I will say this: BG went through a tough transition from Andy, then Chip, and then trying to trade him positions, switching positions on him, outside linebacker, and no, I'm an edge rush. And he has weathered the storm, and he is Philly beloved. So shout out to BG, man. He's the man.
Now we talk about the changeup. The changeup is usually an off-speed pitch to create deception to the batter.
Right here.
So if you're talking about the changeup, what needs, you know, what would be the changeup coming out of the bye? You know, the Eagles are known for one thing. What would be the changeup coming out of the bye?
I interpreted that differently, so I'm just going to give it. My changeup that I'm looking forward to. You know, you just mentioned how Tay has been struggling, how we want to bench him. We also mentioned how Sidney Brown has finally been, you know, added into practices. I think some infusion of Sidney Brown is exactly what this defense needs. You talk about guys that it's like a mentality and a play style. You remember back when he was healthy and he was playing, that guy was flying around the field. He was hitting people hard. That's exactly what I want to see out of this defense right now. I want a player on the field that plays like that. I think that Sidney Brown is the perfect changeup that this defense needs right now.
Okay. Y'all ready for my changeup?
Go ahead.
Hit me.
Nick, let go of the damn play call. Let it go. I'm subbing you out for Kellen Moore. I need. You know, what was my man? I need more cowbell, baby. I need more cowbell, baby.
Yeah.
I need more motion, baby. I need that. Okay. I need Kellen Moore to be the official offensive coordinator. I am tired of looking at other offensive coordinators that come out of the Philadelphia Eagles and then having successful years. Shane Steichen, Brian Johnson took the fall. He took the fall. Look at him now. He's a passing coordinator for the Commanders. JD is JD5. That's he got a name now. He balling out. I need a change. I need a change. Bad. I want quick throws. I want motion. I want to see Shipley in the backfield a little bit more. I want to see Gainwell with a get some more touches to let Saquon rest up the quads. I want to see Saquon with screens and run the ball. I want him at least get 15 to 19 touches a game. That's what I need. That's what I need, guys. I change up.
We got a couple change ups from Perk. He says Sirianni calls 3 plays a game.
Facts. I like that.
Jordan says, can Vic apply more pressure on the defense side of the ball? Could have had Devin White blitzing on some of these plays, but I don't know.
Been nice to see.
Sergeant Walker says, quick throws or quick throats, King.
What?
Quick throws. Quick throws. Quick strike offense is what I need. I need the changeup needs it to be Jalen Hurts getting the ball out of his hands as quickly as possible. Because you saw what happened to Baker Mayfield. He got sacked the week before 7 times. What do they do next week? Quick strike.
Yep.
Just get the ball out of his hands,
and
please.
the pocket awareness too, man. Just
Good Lord.
you let a guy past you, and then once he's out of sight, he's completely out of mind. Forgot he's
like Mario
even
Brothers.
back there. Yeah, bro.
It's like Mario.
You're cocking that ball all the way back into his face, like you're giving him the ball.
Well, the one thing with Jay, like even the play where he threw that pick to AJ in the first game of the season, if we would have just threw Goddard was wide open.
Yeah.
If you go back to that play, those are the kind of plays you just go back and watch those plays and you'd be like, bro, go to the second read.
When the ball got knocked out of his hand, I want to say he was throwing to Calcaterra, but Calcaterra was wide open.
Yeah.
Dotson, I think was it Campbell or either one. Both of them got ugly numbers, but they were wide open too. One of them was wide open on the right hand side. It's just crazy to me, man.
Yeah, I just, but to me, I'm like, I'm looking at this offense and I'm like, it's got more to it. You could do more with this, and it doesn't seem like. It seems so stale. It's not even funny. So I mean, we kind of got some of the points out there in baseball terms, because the Phillies are about to play and we're trying to pay homage to the Phillies. But I think if we're going 3 strikes, you're out. Who's on the 3rd strike?
I'll tell you who's on the 25th strike right now is Nick Sirianni, bro. That's dating back to last year.
He already out.
Get him out of here. He's 0 for his last, I don't know how many, dude. All this dude is just swings at the dirt. Get him out of here.
We talk about supporting the organization, but Sirianni, the approach is off. The culture is off. Somebody has to step up, man. I do think any 3 strikes. I'd say.
Ready?
Go ahead.
You go. I mean, y'all gonna hate me for it, but Jalen, you're making 51, 52 million. I'm gonna read off some stats, and then we can carry on with it. 2022, 16-4, including the playoffs. Points per game, number 2. This is, and the offensive coordinator was Shane Steichen. Okay, so I want to put that there as well. Passing per yards attempt was 3rd. Passer rating was 4th. EPA passing was 7, and then the most important thing, and I think reason why we were blowing teams out. Pause. Touchdown and interception ratio. We were number 1. Think about that for a second. We were number 1. Now you ready for the doomsday? All right, let's go. Besides Devin White being cut. 2023 and then present. So we're gonna go in from 2023 going into this year. week 5. We're 3-8 points per game. We're ranked number 22. Pass yards per attempt is 20th. Passing rating is 20th. EPA passing per passing is 21. Now, this is when things hit the fan. Touchdown and interception ratio, we're at 26.
Yeah, gee, it's a massive drop. It's almost from the top all the way to the bottom.
That's a cliff.
Yeah, man. It's been, and that, I mean, as much as you hate to really look at it for what it is was it Shane Steichen all that time? I don't know. Or what was the reason why Jalen Hurts is ultimately still the same player he was in 2022. What switch got flipped to where now he forgot fundamental football?
Well, but there's also the way that he's being played. They've caught up to what they're doing.
Yeah,
you can't keep on continue to run the same kind of. You got to put a dressing on this. You got to obviously you got Barkley in here to handle some of the load. So I think it's just an opportunity to change what you're doing. And again, if Nick is anywhere, I would like to not to say that we would, but if he was held hostage somewhere and treated very well, fed steak, Evan Hollywood Hearn cheesesteaks and some banana pudding.
Corporate events,
treated very well.
Hostage negotiation.
You just can't go anywhere for one day. You're like, yo.
Oh my god!
He's like, you can eat as much as you want, have a great time, but you can't leave in the middle of this game just to see what it would look like. Just to see what it would look like. That's it. No harm, no foul. Just eat, and the door's locked.
Celtics
it's
pride
like,
number 2 with the Eagle fans.
We're like, yo,
who was that one Raiders player that thought that he already played in the Super Bowl? Got all coked out. The game had already happened.
That was hilarious.
You were like, yeah, you ain't got to go home, but you ain't leaving from here. You ain't leaving from here. Let's see. AJ says my dad just texted me that Devin White was a knucklehead that didn't study. My dad lives in Tampa.
Wow, little Jamarcus Russell in him.
Daddy Jones.
Story about
Daddy Jones.
Empty playbook that he said he read.
Oh, the DVD with $100 bill in it.
Oh man. Shout out to Prime. He's out doing fatherly duties.
Yeah.
Shout out to Amaya.
Yeah.
The cheering competition.
Gymnastics.
Hopefully they're going for gold, just like the Eagles. Okay. AJ says Daddy Jones says F him too. Okay. But man, this podcast.
It took a left turn.
It did take a left turn real quick.
It's been a tough one. But speaking of tough and amazing at the same time, the schedule's been a little tough. Mm-hmm. But if you're looking at the schedule and thinking about you want to go see more Eagles games, well, you gotta hit up Philly Sports Trips, man. Philly Sports Trips has done amazing work this year. We've had a great time. The next couple games that you could be going to, the Birds take over in New York as we showcase Saquon Barkley in front of Giants fans and rub it in their face. The Birds take over in Cincinnati. We have the Birds take over in Texas that will have Jeremiah Trotter on that trip. The Birds take over in Los Angeles with LaShawn McCoy and Deshaun Jackson. That is pretty cool. The Birds take over in Baltimore, which should be a tough game. And then when you just when you thought that the Washington game would be some kind of just like rando game, they got some quarterback down there, Jaden Daniels, who's looking like
legit,
looking pretty good. one of his coaches, Brian Johnson. But also big shout out to Evan Hollywood Hearn. He's going to be showcasing his cheesesteaks at the tailgate.
Yes, sir.
Hey.
So that's pretty cool. Another person who's good with the food is Alex.
Hey, money.
Smoking and Son will be bringing some tacos. I think
I might be tacoed out at this point.
He's got some chicken.
Buffalo chicken. An Alex taco. I'm gonna have it, but
yeah,
I've had about 400 tacos in the past week.
This guy, he'll be all right. Also, another guy who was he was going to be on the IR this week was Lowski, but Lowski is back entertaining people at the as a DJ for the 4th and Jawn tailgates. Shout out to Conchi Italian Bakery for providing the tomato pies. Red Bull for giving the tailgate wings. Evan's favorite drink in the world. Shout out to Bud Light for holding us down all these years, providing the suds for you guys at these tailgates for free $99. Free $99. But if you're whining about your graphics too, your graphics suck. Hit up Jesse Wines. I actually had someone walk up to me in Tampa asking about the graphics. So people are listening.
That's good.
And shout out to Crafty John for all the chunky chains. You see it behind Tim.
Yes, sir.
Sorry.
But anything else before we get out of you? Yeah, but last take before we get out of her. Say it with your chest, Evan. I know you just said something about Sirianni in the beginning of the show.
I mean, I'm going to say something with my chest that is more positive. Phillies win tonight. Let's tie up or tie up series. Go up. Sorry, I've been.
You've been on vacation.
Yeah, I've been out. But I'm feeling confident about tonight. I think that the way that game ended. Thankfully, I was able to catch the last 2 innings of the last game. I think that is going to be the spark that this team needs. I think that whoever won that game and the way that it all played out, one of the best playoff games that's happened so far this year. I think that's going to be a huge momentum swing, and thank God we won. So just like AJ said, hopefully we get good Nola tonight, and he doesn't fall apart after the 4th inning.
Okay, what about you, Tim? Under your take, you say it with your chest take before we get out of here.
Yo, let's go Phillies, man. Let's go Phils. But off my chest, this is what I want to say off my chest. Eagles, please, let's not lose to the Browns because Deshaun Watson, aka Diddy, he's ass, bro. Come on, man. Like I can't. I cannot afford. We cannot afford as fans to lose to the Browns.
No, we can't.
We can't. I'm not going around with a garbage bag or the brown paper bag on my face. I'm not doing that.
Deshaun Watson has looked so miserably bad. I think the dude's washed. I've been saying I think the dude's washed.
His name is not. It's Massage Watson. There's no Deshaun Watson.
Massage Watson is nice.
And I think that I don't know. I think that if they make him look even remotely good, that is just what the fuck, Vic.
Right.
Sorry.
So yeah, I had to get that off my chest. Please don't lose. And then number 2, man, I gotta get this off my chest, man. Listen, I'm a sneakerhead. I mean, you see the shoes behind my back. Just because Nike is doing bad doesn't mean that you can just poo-poo on Jordans. I'm tired of it. I'm so tired of it. Everybody's saying the sneakerhead is dead. The sneakers are dead. Nobody's buying them. Listen. People just don't have money to be splurging on sneakers, right? Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Sneakers are not dead. Rock what you want to rock and wear what you want to wear. 2 terms. You know what I'm saying? So I had to say that. I had to get that off. I had to get that off my chest.
Has the internet been saying that? I'm not on that side of the internet.
Poo-pooing, they just been poo-pooing on the sneakerheads, man. Like, and it's just like it hurts my heart. You know what I'm saying? I don't cop sneakers like I used to because I already have every damn thing.
Don't listen to that guy. The guy below you has a problem. He still has a problem. Don't listen to him. I'm getting tired of people calling us like, you know, bad words. It hurts my feelings. I love sneakers. Now, 843 Drum Legend, his say what your chest take is Jalen Hurts, take the check downs when it's there. Stop forcing it downfield when wide receiver 1 and 2 is covered. Go back and just watch the film. That is a whole lot of it. Just getting it, diversifying your wide receivers is the thing. But again, it goes back to why we complained so long during the offseason about who wide receiver 3 and throughout 5 was going to be.
Yeah.
We didn't like mince words. We knew this was going to be a problem, and it happened. We spoke that in existence. Thanks, guys. Yeah. Appreciate you guys.
Quick question, though, Gil, because you went to, and I'm not sure, did you go to those practices?
A couple of open practices.
You went to a couple of open practices, and I want to have to ask you a question. When you guys were going to those open practices, and this was like the biggest thing when, you know, ESP and all those guys, respectively, kept on saying that Jalen was going to the check down. He was throwing to the check down, sometimes even taking off. Wasn't he doing that in practice?
He was hitting the quick strike. He was getting the ball out of his hands.
Fast. What happened?
Well, now there's a real rush, and he's actually getting hit.
But that's what I'm saying, though. Like, weren't you there for the Patriots? No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Did you say he was actually getting hit?
Oh, I mean, now he's actually getting hit.
Yeah.
It's real pressure.
Right. So,
all right.
like those joint practices, is he getting hit?
Yes. So, okay, that was the reason why I brought this up.
He's getting pressure.
Is he getting hit?
Not hit, though.
Okay, so maybe those preseason games where he gets hit, you know.
No one's getting hit. That's another problem. Like, when you're on the practice squad, you would get lit up. Ain't nobody tackling. And again, I never want to be the old man yelling at the clouds type shit, but even practice is soft, bro. Mm-hmm. Practices are soft.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's what I was getting to. So
practices are soft.
I'm jumping to Ev's side now. I was all Mr. Control the environment, but now now I'm with old man 30-year-old Evan. I'm like 10 years older than Evan.
Evan turns 30 now. He's Yoda.
He's like the Oswald. He's like the young old wise man. Now all of a sudden,
play in the preseason. They must.
I mean,
okay, Yoda.
Shout out to Mr. iFlow, aka Young now, changing up the name. He says, now we know why Jalen was so perfect in practice. We actually don't have a pass rush. Man, my thing is just like,
what up, big?
My say it with your chest take. The Eagles organization has to make it a priority with the culture of this team. It just because it looks like we have a culture problem still.
Yeah.
Even if you're bringing in guys that you thought that you could fit the culture and didn't fit, that's a problem. Like, that means like you don't know your locker room enough to like put in a guy who you think could be that dude. So that's a problem. Like, culturally with the front office and with the team. Mm-hmm. If your pieces that you're putting into this whole system don't work, that's even worse. That's a cultural problem with the front office. That means you need to hire guys from the podcast to get in there and make some real sound calls here. I mean, I'm just kidding.
I mean, we can read. I mean, didn't Dave Sparrow just retire or something like that?
No, Fran Duffy. Fran Duffy.
Come on and hire your boys.
Hire Fran Duffy. How about that? Fran Duffy, legit football mind. Shout out to Mark Bird and his Oregon Ducks. We got a happy belated from Tony to
Thank you,
Hollywood.
Tony. Thank you, Tony.
A lot of love out there for the
old
Hernster out there. But let's see. Last word before we get out. Last word. It could be something nice. Anything you have to say?
It's the same thing as I just said. Go Phils, man.
Go Phils. Okay.
Go Phils. And if we lose, like Marcus Walker just said,
don't even speak it into existence.
If he said it, not me.
I got you.
He said, I don't know what the score prediction was. It was kind of crazy. If we lose, though, I think it's kind of, you got to have a conversation about Nick being the head coach. That's all I'm saying. My last word.
Last word. Shout out to one of my former teammates. Big RIP to Sean Saylor. Was a great friend of mine in college. We had film school classes. He passed away a couple of days ago. And
sorry.
Teammates always to me become family members. You go through a lot with your teammates. You never forget your teammates. But shout out to Sean Saylor and his family. May you rest in peace. All you people in the comments, we appreciate you guys. We appreciate the talk. As much as the flow, you would love it to be like energetic and positive, but it's become annoying real fast. We're only like 5 weeks in, and it's been a tough scene out here. It's been a tough scene out here. But again, this toughens you up as an Eagle fan, right?
Yep.
So I feel like if you're not about this talk, you're not about this life. This is probably not the podcast for you because it's a lot of diehard talk here. You got to be a sicko, and we love the Eagles more than you know. But we'll see you guys in the next one. As always, it's Fly, Eagles, Fly.
Go Birds.
And I'm changing up the outro for Prime because he.
Yeah.